This is Saxman, and today on the Sax Review we'll be covering Trover Saves the Universe, made by Squanch Games, the same people who make Rick and Morty. So if you want a TLDR, go ahead and cut to the end, and let's jump right into it. You are a chair Orpian who controls another person to do the game for you. The chair simply gives you different viewpoints on puzzles and fighting spots. Throughout the game, you'll see little node spots that you can jump your chair to and gain different vantage points over the levels and maps and fighting. You will find yourself mostly racing to the highest point so you can have a proper view of every single fighting spot, and it won't change all that much. The game uses a lot of vulgarity to push its agenda of comedy along the entire way, but most of the jokes seem forced and your actual character is mute and everyone simply talks at you. The game is more dialogue than actual gameplay. It seems with often wait times to move to the next area or adding something almost annoying to the game. The platforming tries to redeem the game from its terrible jokes by doing its best but simply wasn't focused on enough. The game is really beautifully made and the levels are fun to look at, but it has some major setbacks that really cripple its ability to be enjoyable overall. Collectibles throughout are well hidden and probably the best part of the game, as they let you enjoy the scenery, and who doesn't like collectibles? The hardest puzzles in the game were easily the box puzzles, and they weren't hard as in mentally, but hard as in just trying to get the boxes to stack properly from your viewpoints that you had. Puzzles throughout are the same the entire way, along with not much imagination to them. Get box, have character climb box, and so on. The fighting seems to be bland, hack and slash with no real endpoint other than dodging a few projectiles. The enemy variants do not change much other than they have more health and slightly different attack styles. The true beauty of the game really is hidden in the levels. The levels are often beautiful and well artistically done, and the collectibles are hidden throughout, which give Trover more health and simply make the game easier than what it already is. You travel around in this space pod type base, and that's how you get from level to level and also interact with many of the different character arcs in the game. And it's also where the sweet trash can minigame is located, so it was easily my favorite place in the entire game. Here's one of the advantage points you can get where you just simply overlook most of the level. The most fun I had in the game was probably the little trash can paper throw game where you just try to get the paper through the hoop and it lands in the trash can. I had a lot of fun with that. Each world varied a lot in its view artistically, but the mechanics simply were the same for most worlds. The game slowly adds more ability to Trover and also to your chair, which adds to its complexity and the puzzles, but simply adds them so slowly, and the game is so short that I feel like the abilities should have been released earlier instead of later. I really did enjoy the little basketball trash can game, so much so that I wanted the achievement for making 100 in there, and probably spent most of my time actually trying to get up to 100 points. The levels technically progressively got harder and harder, but since it's just a hack and slash and Trover has an infinite amount of health and everyone drops a ton of health regen, each fight simply felt bland and boring. Thankfully I did make it to 100 points before the game was over and don't have to come back in and simply work to get those points. The price of the game is $30 and only took me about 4.5 hours to complete. I was definitely in no rush and took my time. I'm going to give this game a 3 out of 10, maybe pick it up when it's on sale, or you really like the genre of Rick and Morty. I did stream everything live, so if you want to go out and check out the full gameplay, you can go to my Twitch channel. Thanks for watching.